Welcome to DevOpsDays Chicago. You have an amazing agenda planned on all things DevOps with sessions like computational thinking and cutting cloud costs in a COVID-19 world, which we all know is top of mind for everyone right now. I am so very humbled that so many of you see the importance in starting the day engaging in a topic that permeates all sectors and all industries for a community who is so deeply focused on your work, developing code, and building the next big thing. We have to make space for people to be seen and heard as well. That's why today I invite you to learn about authentic conversations. My name is Lani Phillips, and I am the Vice President of U.S. Channel Sales at Microsoft. I want you to think about the last time you found yourself in a situation where you could share your personal perspectives or experience, but wasn't sure if you could be vulnerable. If the other person or persons on the receiving end could identify or empathize with your experience. How can we make others feel more comfortable in engaging in authentic conversations with us? A couple of months ago, like many others, I hit the wall. I was deeply saddened by all the events in succession that happened. COVID-19, Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, Christian Cooper, and George Floyd, to name a few. I decided enough was enough, and I had a responsibility to do something right where I was planted. It all started with a strong desire to create space for my organization to share how they were feeling without judgment, allowing them to just take off the mask and just feel, knowing they were not alone. The audience quickly grew, and what followed surprised us all. What emerged was this level of authenticity that allowed people to have a glimpse into their world through personal stories. We know that empathy is developed through proximity. This forum was just one small way to allow our organization to sit at the virtual table to share authentically, listen, and learn. I opened the discussion with my intention to create the space for an authentic conversation and how people were really feeling. And why this is so important is because according to the Harvard Business Review, most leaders respond with no response and hold a conviction that race, like politics, is best discussed elsewhere. And although 78% of Black professionals say they have experienced discrimination or fear a loved one will, 38% feel it would never be acceptable at their companies to speak out about their experience of bias. It was important to me that I recognize others who have experienced injustice, our Hispanic Latino communities, LGBTQ plus communities, immigrants, Native Americans, people with any type of difference. I mustered up the courage to have this dialogue, knowing it had never been done before. I just decided to unapologetically be me and try and bridge the divide that continues to widen because everyone is so afraid to say what needs to be said, living in fear of the unspeakable happening. It was time for us to just have a real conversation about race, difference, and the experience it creates. To demonstrate our desire to have an authentic conversation, I read this article written by Danielle Cadet, followed by a personal story to demonstrate my willingness to be vulnerable. When we opened it up, the silence was deafening, but I refused to speak because I knew if I held on long enough, someone would speak up. Then it happened. The first person spoke, and a beautiful conversation emerged. Out of respect for everyone in those discussions, I will not dive into the details, but I will say that many were able to have an authentic conversation that opened their eyes to the hardcore reality that for some changed their lives forever. If we want to drive real change, we must have that uncomfortable conversation. There's a quote that says, "The key to inclusion is understanding who your employees really are." Through these discussions, you develop shared understanding and begin to move forward. Now let's talk about, how do you have authentic conversations? Number one, just show up and listen with empathy. The first step is just be willing to show up without distractions and be fully present. Just listen with empathy. You don't have to say anything. Just demonstrate you care. Brené Brown says that empathy communicates an incredible healing message of you're not alone. Number two, be vulnerable. Be willing to admit you are uncomfortable. Recognize you do not have the same lived experience and acknowledge this might be new for you. Emphasize you want to support them and learn. Number three, active listening. Listen to understand, not to respond. Sit in the uncomfortable silence. Just deeply listen and hear what they are trying to say to you. It may not be very succinct. It actually might feel very clumsy, but give them time to peel back those layers and share. Your job is just to listen and seek clarity when needed. Number four, validate their feelings. Do not judge their feelings or feel the need to comment. They have a right to feel those feelings. Just thank them for sharing and acknowledge it took courage for them to speak. You're not there to solve all the problems, just to listen. Continue to listen until they are done. Number five, ask where you can help. Allow them to participate in the solution. You don't have to come up with it alone. And number six, follow through. When they tell you what they need, put some action behind your words. If they ask for help, then just follow through. In closing, the key learnings were self-awareness, a desire to learn more and be a better ally, subsequent conversations that peel back the onion more, and a sheer curiosity among many to get to know their peers at a much deeper level. Be willing to get uncomfortable and drive authentic conversations. Remember, proximity breeds empathy. Let us challenge ourselves to have deeper, more meaningful conversations. Only then will you see the gateway to driving real change. We all have to be the difference. Now, how can you create the space to engage in an authentic conversation? Thank you, and I hope you enjoy your conference.